In this chapter, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about sites and what sites are in the context of Liferay. I've been mentioning sites as we've gone throughout the course together so far, so let's actually take a look at what sites are and how they can be created. So what is a site in Liferay? By definition, a site is simply a group of content, okay? If you want to get technical, you could say a group of content and pages, all right? It's the place where we manage content and display content to engage with our users, all right? So anytime you need to go ahead and provide some sort of a web presence for users to interact with at any level. Again, this could be a public site, this could be an intranet, etc. That's going to be done in the context of sites in Liferay. Now, sites have a few different facets to them that you can configure as an administrator. Okay, the first one is going to be membership. All right, site membership is comprised of three options. There's going to be an open site, a restricted site, and a private site. Okay, so what do these mean? An open site is a site where a Liferay user, that is someone who is registered or logged in, can openly add themselves as a member of that site. Okay, and we'll talk about what site membership actually means practically in a minute here. Okay, a restricted site allows users to request access to an individual site, and an administrator needs to go ahead and give them access to that particular site. All right. A private site is completely locked down in terms of membership. Only administrators can give them access to that individual site. Okay, so if there's a use case where you want administrators to have full control over who can access that site's resources, you can make it a private site in terms of membership. The other facet of a site that you can control is the kind of pages that you have. Okay, if the open, restricted, or private sites are in terms of membership, you can also have public or private pages. Okay, so public pages are going to be pages that are open to the public. That is, anyone, including non-logged in users, can come and see content on these pages. Okay, so for example, if we had www.livingston.com or something along those lines, and it included all of the content for the different resorts and hotels that are available for people to stay at throughout the world, any user would be able to come to this and see the public pages. Okay. Private pages, on the other hand, and this is where they're connected to what we talked about previously, private pages are only accessible to site members. Okay. So if you have an open site, okay, someone can add themselves to the site and see the resources found on the private pages. Okay. Restricted and private sites make it so that you as an administrator have a little bit more control over who can access those private page resources. Okay, so this gives you a little bit of flexibility when it comes to creating sites. You can have an open site with private pages. You can have a private site with public pages. Okay, whatever use case you might have, this is going to give you that flexibility that you need to provide the exact user experience you're looking for. Now, alongside of this, you also have what are called site hierarchies. Okay, you can have sites with child sites underneath that can share resources. And what you can actually do on the platform is you can set up membership to fit the hierarchy as well. So if you wanted to have livingston.com, for example, with private pages and private membership, but then those who are members can openly add themselves to other resources for other hotels, you can actually set the membership up this way using some of the configuration for the child hierarchy. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. All right, so if we're looking at the Livingston use case here, Livingston Hotels and Resorts, there are a few different kinds of sites that we have that we need this kind of flexibility for. All right, so for example, we have the Livingston Hotels and Resorts and the actual individual hotel and resort sites. Those obviously need to have public pages, for example, but they may not need to be open for site membership. Okay. You also have some other options here where you have the Livingston Loop. That's going to be an intranet that they use for Livingston. And that certainly needs private pages, but also private membership, because that's only going to be accessible to employees of the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. Okay. We also have something like Livingston Life. Okay, Livingston Life is an example where we might also need some public pages out there to the public. We could make it open to site membership so that more people can get access and resources for the Livingston Life magazine and blogs. Okay, or we can make it private as well. We can just make it public pages and private site membership. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we can create some of these sites in the next section. All right, so to recap this section here, a site is a group of content and pages in Liferay. That means each site will be distinct, allowing each of the content teams to manage their own group of content instead of having one giant website with 1,000 resources. Okay, it allows you the ability to be more specific about what it is you're looking for, and you can have different kinds of sites as well. So Liferay can host not only your public website, but also your intranet, your customer portal, all of those in one with different sites. Okay, there are 3 kinds of membership. There are open sites, restricted sites, and private sites. Again, open is for everybody to have access to. Restricted allows them to request access, and private makes it so that only administrators can add them. Okay, and then we also have different kinds of pages. We have public pages accessible to the public, those who are not logged in, okay, as well as those who are logged in. And then we have private pages that are only accessible to members and administrators, and it gives them a little bit of access to those resources as well. Okay. All right, so let's keep this in mind as you consider your own sites that you would want to use for your platform, but also as we look forward to creating some sites for the Livingston platform.